Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
This is Joe Pugh for IFLTV. We are here in Cardiff. Mr. Spencer Oliver, how are you, mate?
Joe, really well, mate. Good to be back down in Cardiff, actually. This is giving me flashbacks from the Joe Calzaghe days, man. Coming down here, Cardiff, Castle and whatnot. They love their boxing down here, and it's great to have big-time boxing down here. Massive test for Lauren Price, but a fight that she's looking forward to, a fight that, she's saying she's wanted for a while now. She wanted that step up in class. And Jessica McCaskill, as you know, as I know, anyone that knows their boxing knows that this girl brings it, man. She's a tough girl that's been around for a while, undisputed super lightweight champion. We saw her, first time I saw her actually was at the York Hall, believe it or not, Bethnal Green, 2017 against Katie Taylor. What a fight she put up there. We saw her against Chantel Cameron, more recently in a controversial draw against Sandy Ryan, and it was controversial, to be fair. I thought Sandy Ryan won that fight. McCaskill got away, the boxing gods were with her, but then we find her here. But what a nice girl as well, by the way. She's one of them. She's a great advocate for women's boxing. I think she's been a great ambassador for women's boxing. She's helped put women's boxing on the map, and that's because of her style. And I'm expecting an unbelievable fight against Lauren Price, who's standing next to me here, actually. So I've got to say the right thing, mate. I don't want to get a little left hand in the ear off.
Yeah, don't want to slag her off. But as you mentioned there, Joe Calzaghe days, Lauren's hoping to emulate them days and return to big time boxing for Wales as a whole.
Absolutely, Joe. Do you know what it is? They love their sportsmen and sportswomen, and I think that they'll get behind Lauren Price. If you look at what this girl's done as an athlete, going back to world kickboxing champion, Olympic gold medalist, played football for her country, 52 caps internationally for Wales, played in the Champions League for Cardiff City, and then you go fast forward, 7th fight she's boxing for the unified welterweight title. You go, the accolades are insane, man. You know what I mean? You go and Cardiff City will get behind that because they say to you, they love their sportsmen and women. And so she will be supported by this. A 5,000 seat arena that this is going in, and you can bet that they will be screaming the roof off that place.
Yeah, and Welsh boxing's kind of hit a bit of form at the minute. You've obviously got Joe Cordina, you've got Lauren Price hopefully making that world title, so this could be a little bit of an untapped market for boxing. We could see many nights here in the future. A
resurgence for Welsh boxing, absolutely. And if you know the history of the sport, Welsh boxing has been instrumental in putting boxing on the map, really, for Great Britain. And I'm just glad that Lauren Price is bringing boxing back down here because we've had so many good nights. I'm expecting a massive one on May 11th. So yeah, it's going to be good.
Spencer, go back to Friday night / Saturday morning by the time the main event started. See you was doing a watch party for the Talk Sport. Do you enjoy that? Joshua and Ngannou, what an event. Absolutely, man. Yeah, we was doing a little watch along there. We're banned there at the moment, so it is what it is. But shame we couldn't be there live for this Joshua and Ngannou fight, because I'm so glad that Joshua got the job done the way that he has, because as you know, Joe, I've always supported Anthony Joshua, always backed Joshua. When people have just totally written him off, said that he's damaged, he can't overcome that, his confidence is shot, he's not even in the top 5 anymore. Well, guess what? Fuck you, because Joshua stamped himself right back up there with that performance. And then people will go, well, it was Francis Ngannou, it's an MMA fight. You go, yeah, but that MMA fight, I put the WBC champ on the seat of his pants in 3 rounds and pushed him to the wire. So people were expecting Joshua to be in a hard fight, and guess what? He went out there and he iced him. It wasn't even a fight, mate. He went out there and absolutely wiped the floor with him, and I was like, come on, Josh. That's what was needed, because he was in a lose-lose situation there, because had it gone the distance, he would have got slagged off. Had it gone into the late rounds, he would have got slagged off. Had it been a ball fest, it would have been slagged off. Had he got beat, his career would have been over. High risk, low reward, really, when you think about it. But what's the reward? Hopefully the winner of Usyk Fury. That's what we want to see. But in the meantime, that was a fucking demolition job, man, and that's what we needed. He iced him. That was wicked. Taking away AJ just for the minute, is that a little win
for boxing as a whole. After what Ngannou done, coming from an MMA background, I've got mates who are UFC fans, they're kind of laughing in my face. That was a win for boxing.
Listen, Joe, he restored the faith in boxing because, God forbid, could you imagine if he would have beat Anthony Joshua and then what he done with Tyson Fury, then beat Anthony Joshua? Could you imagine what it would have done for our sport as a whole? That would have been difficult to recover from. It really would have. So we needed that performance from Joshua where he didn't just go in there and win. He took him out in style, man. That was like, when you looked at that, there you go, wow, that was one of the best knockouts I think that we'll ever see. That was insane, man. Yeah, so credit where credit's due. I just wish people would get off Joshua's back now and just start giving him a little bit of support and just look at that and go, you know what, this geezer's achieved so much. He's been instrumental in changing millions of kids' lives, giving them hope. You know what I mean? Being on that journey, turning your life around that he has done. So let's just hope that he starts getting the support that he deserves again.
I know it's hard to compare, but could this be the best version of Anthony Joshua coming off that win, the Warling win, the last bit of the Hellenius win?
Absolutely. Why shouldn't it be? You know, that he's proved there that he is back to his best, you know, and they're back to his best. And what that means is he fights with his heart on his sleeve. And that is important, like where he's willing to take the chance, he's willing to commit himself. That is really, really important. And yeah, that Anthony Joshua goes in against any of them. You know what I mean? If you put him in against Usyk now in the third fight, I would go heavily on Anthony Joshua, knowing where he's at now here, physically and mentally, against the Joshua that boxed Usyk the first time and the second time. He's a different fighter now.
I know this sport is built on if, buts and maybes, and this is certainly one, but if AJ and Fury were to get in the ring, kind of their next fight is obviously not happening, who starts favourite?
50-50 fight now. You know, if we go back 12 months, Joe, you look at 12 months ago, you're going 80% heavily in favour of Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Maybe more than that. Not many people would have put money on Joshua. Fast forward now, you go off last performances, Fury's was not particularly good. Well, you know, I think we'll see a different one, and I think that he does win the fight against Usyk. So, but we'll see a different Fury in there. But that's a real 50-50 fight now. It's a fight that we want to see as boxing fans. The public wants to see. Boxing needs it as well. That's the biggest fight in boxing right now. Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, and it's a 50-50.
Last one on this. What do you think Tyson Fury was thinking? He was ringside for the fight, yeah. What was going through his mind when he hit that second round knockout?
He probably didn't want it to end as early as that because of the performance that he put in against Ngannou, if I'm totally honest. But I think he would have he would be respecting Joshua for that and just looking at him thinking, fuck, this kid's back at the top. I better up my game, man. I better, it's time to pull my socks up. Because he's going to have to pull his socks up because he can't put in a performance against Ngannou, because that Tyson Fury would not beat Anthony Joshua right now.
Whilst the whole knockout chaos fight week was going on, there were some very bizarre announcements away from that fight itself. I'll start off with the one that's actually set in stone. Yeah. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Yeah, your reaction to that?
Yeah, it's sad times, really. Like, listen, Mike Tyson's an iconic figure. Generations of kids wear his name on their T-shirts. Everyone knows who he is. He's in that Muhammad Ali sort of status. Like, you know what I mean? He's an icon. And you go, like, he's a 57-year-old man now suffering with health problems. We've seen, like, with the smoking that he does. He's got the cannabis farm and everything else. He's enjoying life, and rightly so, by the way, because he's done his served his time. Don't want to see him getting back in there now. We've seen him recently on crutches and his health doesn't look particularly great. Forget the shit clips you see put out there with Tyson absolutely ripping into, body bags and whatnot. They're 20-second clips. Like, you've got this young, ambitious kid in Jake Paul who's improving all the time. God forbid, could you imagine Jake Paul beat Mike Tyson? What that would do, that was absolutely catastrophic.
Is that a possibility? Could he knock him out? If they're in 12-ounce gloves?
Tyson, he's a young kid who's improving all the time. He's got ambitions and whatnot. Mike Tyson's not he's not the healthiest guy right now. And like I say, he's a 57-year-old man. People have got to remember that. So of course it's a possibility. And if it did happen, that'd be disastrous, man. And for that reason, and that reason alone, look, I understand it from the business point of view. I totally understand it from a business point of view. It makes sense. Commercially they'll sell it and they'll earn loads of money and whatnot. But, oh man, I don't want to see Mike Tyson back in there. I want to remember Mike Tyson for the guy that he was when I used to get up on the radio with my dad and listen to it on the radio and listen to him knocking people out. You know what I mean? When he beat Trevor Berbick and flattened Trevor Berbick as the youngest ever world heavyweight champion. And you go back to Tyrell Biggs fights, Tony TNT Tucker and all those. They're my memories of boxing. That's what inspired me to want to become a boxer. Don't want to see the geezers still fighting now. Fucking hell, I was a young kid then listening to it on the radio. I've been and had a career and retired for 25 years and you're still talking about this guy boxing? Fucking hell, man, come on.
Another one that's been announced is this Sunday. This come out of nowhere, really. Dillian Whyte, he's cleared his name and he's back on what was built as an Irish dinner show for St Patrick's Day against Christian Hammer. But the opponent's neither here nor there. He's getting back out and hopefully big fights for him now he's cleared his name.
Absolutely. I'm pleased that Dillian's cleared his name from contaminated supplements. By the way, there's a lesson to be learned there. Deal with it that way. You fail a test, go take it away. If you're innocent, deal with it the appropriate way. Don't blame everyone that you can look at and it's everyone else's fault about it on your own. Go and deal with it. Get the results, get the right result, and then go, there you go, I'm innocent. And then we go, well done. I'm really pleased you're innocent because I like Dillian Whyte and I loved him and I was disappointed when he had failed that test. It turns out to be a contaminated supplement and great. Good to see him back in the heavyweight mix and good luck to him. I just feel sorry for him that he's been out for the last 12 months and missed out on those big paydays, but I hope he can do some catch-up. But that's the way that it should be done, by the way.
When you look at the big fights happening out in Saudi, on the undercard we had Parker Zhang, there's a thriving heavyweight division now. Could Dillian Whyte slot back into that?
Absolutely, he's a big name. He's a big name in the sport. So, of course, why couldn't he? No, you know, you get this Christian Hammer fight out of the way, that's a give me, but that'll get the ring rust off him and all that, and then stick him back in the mix, man. Yeah, I want to see him back in the mix because he's a big name, big character, nice guy, and he's entertaining, so let's get it on.
Conor Ben Manny Pacquiao, they faced off in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, thoughts?
Well, have we heard anything from the appeal? Apparently we was going to get some news on that.
Apparently news is imminent, I'm hearing.
Yeah, I've been hearing that for a couple of weeks. But anyway, let's hope that we get that news and he can clear his name and he can get himself back in there. But against a fucking credible opponent, like someone that's like, you know what, didn't we hear Terence Crawford? We heard Devin Haney. I heard a lot of names being called out. Big names, by the way. That's where I want to see him in his own weight category with the big names of today. Manny Pacquiao was boxing when I was boxing, mate. I've been retired 25 years. I'll leave it there. But yeah, like, I understand the game from the business side of things, modern day, you know, legend and all that, but I don't know. It is what it is, man. I don't know anymore, Joe. I'll give up, mate. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
You mentioned Terence Crawford there. Terence Crawford, Chris Eubank Jr. moving up 2 weight divisions, that could be likely.
I totally understand that, you know, because the ultimate goal for Terence Crawford, the end goal for Terence Crawford is Canelo. And that's where he looks at Chris Eubank Jr., who's world ranked in the middleweight rankings, got great rankings. Terence Crawford's going, right, calculated gamble here. I'm going to move up Chris Eubank Jr. I think I can beat him. I'll take them rankings then. I'll get a world title shot at middleweight, and then I can set up a title shot with Canelo at super middle, and I think that's the end goal for Terence Crawford, so I totally understand it. Massive gamble though, because Eubank Jr. is a big middleweight and he's a strong middleweight, so the $1 million question is, will Crawford be able to jump up to that weight division? Yeah, he'll walk around at that weight, so he'll say, well, he'll think that's, you know, he'll be able to do that, but Eubank will be walking around a lot heavier as well, so I understand it. Great fight. I'm intrigued with that one. I'd like to see it.
Last one, I don't know if we're allowed to talk about this, but next Wednesday your gym is opening. A little plug
mate,
for that.
Let's talk about it, mate. Yeah, next Wednesday. Yeah, we've got Duffy Training Centre, the Duffy Boxing Training Centre is opening next week down at the Olympic Park. You're going to be down there. You're coming down there. Champagne reception.
Hopefully, yeah. I hear champagne. I'm there.
We got champagne reception, mate. All doors for you, mate. Only for you. Don't worry about that. But yeah, no, it's a big moment. So myself and Johnny Nelson are involved. We're part owners of the Duffy Boxing, Duffy Boxing Limited Company. And we're opening up our first gym down there, and we're going to have gyms up and down the country. We've got Kieran Duffy, who's one of the founders as well of that, and Chris Kenning, who owns Stubborn Edge Life Insurance Company, so he's our backer and he's involved in what we're doing. And it's going to be something absolutely huge. You've seen the gym, by the way. It looks wicked.
I haven't
mate.
seen it. I've seen a picture, but yeah.
Oh, I'm going to show you Jim after it. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. We've got some big names coming down there. Sky Sports News is coming down there. Talk Sports coming down there. All the outlets are coming down there. It's going to be big, mate. Yeah, brilliant. It's right near the hotel. It's right near the O2, sorry. So it's going to be good.
I've got to set you a task though if I'm coming, right?
Yeah, go,
Last
mate.
minute.
You can have as
The
much
task
champagne
is
as
no.
you
The
want.
task
It all
is
goes. Yeah, go.
you got to get your mate Simon Jordan in front of that camera.
Simon will be there, mate, and don't worry about that. We'll get him in front of that camera.
Well, there you go, Spencer. Thank you very much for speaking to IFLTV. Cheers, mate.
Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.